Hi everyone, and welcome to another channeled reading that I'm doing with Robin Williams. Now, you may or may not have seen the first reading that I did with Robin. It was about a year ago. I had a lot of fun during that reading. I was laughing a lot, and I know a lot of you said you enjoyed it too. Now, I really wanted to do another reading, and I've actually had a few things happen that have guided me to do this reading. One of which was that I remembered it's Robin's birthday on the 21st of July. So I'm going to be posting this on Robin's birthday. I'm recording it a few days before that, but this is a special one for Robin, first of all. Also, we're going to pick up where we left off in the last reading. Now, again, you may remember that the cow spirit came out when we pulled some animal cards. And it's so interesting that when I pulled this deck out this morning, this card was actually at the bottom. So again, another sign, I feel, that it was time for me to do this reading. Now, after that first reading, a song came into my mind and it kept playing over and over. I was hearing, if you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. And I thought of the cow card actually as a link, because obviously the cow has flowers on its head. But I then went off to do a bit of research in terms of where Robin lived, because I wasn't quite sure about that. And it turns out he had an apartment in San Francisco, and his ashes are apparently scattered there in San Francisco. So that was amazing. Yeah, I'm getting shivers now, because obviously his spirit is with us everywhere, but possibly if I went there I would really feel his energy. So maybe I will get there one day. That would be lovely. So we're going to keep the cow card out, and what I'd like to do is just to pull a birthday message for Robin. So let's just say happy birthday. See what animal we'll get for you, Robin. I'd like it to hopefully jump out. Wow, yeah. We got flamingo. Beautiful bright colour of the flamingo there. And that is Robin's energy, isn't it? You know, bright, beautiful, bold. Its presence is known. I'm seeing a flamingo as it stands out, doesn't it, from the crowd. So that's the message I'm getting here for Robin. You know, his spirit will always live on. Your spirit, Robin, will always live on. Okay, so we'll leave the flamingo there as well. Now, something else that guided me to do this reading was a few weeks ago, a video showed up on my YouTube feed, and I saw Robin Williams in the thumbnail, so I instantly clicked on. I feel it showed up for a reason, and it was the Martha Stewart cookery show, and Robin Williams was a guest on it. Now, within seconds of watching it, I was belly laughing, in tears of laughter. It was so funny, the things Robin was coming out with. I'll put a link to it in the description box below, actually, because you might want to watch it if you're a Robin fan. It's so funny, you know, it just shows his talent, as we all know, but, you know, the way he just would come out with things off the cuff, I think, a lot of the time. And the accents he did always made me laugh. So check that out. I mean, there's one point where Martha says cumin, and he says, or cumin, sorry, in the American accent. And he says, knock, knock, come in, which actually sounds like a northern British accent as well, come in. Northern English people will get that. And it's interesting because it was so needed as well for me to have that laughter that morning, because I've been doing some quite serious work recently that's really required my concentration. So that just came along at the right moment, and then it made me think, yeah, I think I need to do this reading. So here I am. I just remembered that this morning when I woke up, the song that I just sang, If You're Going to San Francisco, was playing in my mind. So that was another sign for me that today was the day to do this reading. Now, in the last reading, I asked some of you if you had questions for Robin, and we had some questions from Eileen. So thank you so much for those questions. The first one was, what is Robin's favourite film? Now, I connected with Robin a few days ago. I generally do that before gearing up to doing a reading. And he said Awakenings, that came through. Now, I had to look it up because I must admit I'd never heard of it or seen it. And then last night I watched the films. I thought, it would be nice for me to watch it. And I think, again, I was meant to watch that film. One thing that really, was such a surprise was halfway through, a nurse in the film introduced herself as Beth. So obviously I had a little chuckle there. But it's a serious role that Robin took on. Robert De Niro is also in the film, and his portrayal of a patient was amazing. Both of them, Robin and Robert, were amazing in that film. So it was such a moving film. I mean, I cried a few times as well from watching it. I'm so grateful that I watched it. I may not have seen that otherwise, to be honest. So Robin has said, he loved that film because it gave him an insight into the mind, the way it works, neurology, which is what it was all about. These poor patients who had suffered from encephalitis, and they were literally like frozen souls. But, they were still there inside, and Robin's character knew they were there from the experiments he was doing. And then for a while they had these little awakenings, hence the title, from drugs that they took. And it's quite interesting as well, actually, in terms of the link with Robin's final days, because he obviously had Lewy body dementia, which was diagnosed after his death. But he knew something was wrong. And what he was showing me was his brain, like, I was just seeing it like all these cogs in his brain, because he had such a complex brain. And that was actually how he was able to sort of hide it a little bit, because he had so much going on, let's say, in his brain. But it's very sad that, his final days were kind of similar in a way to the people in that film. And I think he knew it. That's what he said in the last reading. He knew it. So that's his favourite film. If you haven't seen it, you might want to watch that. I do recommend it myself. Beautiful film. Okay, so the other question was, would he have done Mrs. Doubtfire too? Now, I immediately got a yes from Robin for that one. In fact, I think that's my favourite of Robin's films that I've seen so far, because I haven't seen all of them. It's so funny, isn't it? His portrayal of Mrs. Doubtfire. But Robin was showing me like a timeline on which there were a few discussions about Mrs. Doubtfire too. I think initially it was discussed and nothing really happened. There were no agreements made. And they didn't like scripts, I believe, that they were presented with. And I think latterly they had decided that they were going to do it. So Robin was very much up for it, is what I'm sort of getting from his energy. He loved that film as well. He's saying that's one of his top 3 as well, in terms of his favourite films that he starred in. I'm going to pull a card on that actually as well, just see if we get anything else you want to say about Mrs. Doubtfire too, which obviously could never be done now. You know, we would need the legend Robin Williams to do that film. Yeah, so with the bird communication, there had been discussions, as I was feeling. But the 4 of Swords is about sort of hanging back a little bit. Nothing started. Nothing got off the ground. It was just an idea. Again, I'm just getting with the fruit. It could have been very fruitful. That's just coming through there. Yeah, it could have indeed. We got the High Priestess as well. So yes, again, like discussions were happening, but with the curtains, it's like the curtains closing. It's the image I'm getting there on Mrs. Doubtfire now, obviously. That ship has passed. So we've got that film, obviously, to remember Robin by, which is an amazing film. By the way, if any of you have any other questions for Robin, please put them in the comments section below, as I'm sure I'll do some more channelings with Robin in the future. I remember in the last reading that rhymes kept coming to me. I was sort of channeling them from Robin. Now we both have that in common actually, rhyme and words. So before this reading, Robin was saying to me that he wanted us to do some sort of improvisation, collaboration with words. Now I'm up for a challenge. So let's give it a go. Now this is not planned, as you'll see, because I'm going to pull some words now from these cards. We got misunderstand, unreliable. I may not use all of these because some of them are a bit tricky. Unaware. Wow, all blue. It's interesting, and it's like a wave there. I'm just thinking Robin's a water sign, Cancer, as well. On the cusp of Leo. And we've got wisdom. So we'll take those. I'm seeing the yellow like Leo as well, like the sun. Okay. And I've also got my golden tickets, which have all got a word on them. So I'm just going to pick at random some words. We got gift, lonely, smile, that's appropriate, heartbreak, adventure, frequency, chemistry, cleanse, blame, laughter, well that's very appropriate as well, happy, yeah, and neglect. I'm just noticing one here that's turned over, we're going to take confusion, and there's also one here, it's turned over, feelings. Okay, so we've got a mixture, selection of words there that have come through. So I just took a few moments there to absorb the words and see what came through. Now, I can't really do improvisation, I have to write it down. I'm not as talented as Robin is. So what I did was I just channeled what came through to me, kind of like automatic writing, and this is what we've come up with. So here we go. Don't misunderstand me, as I know it's been a while, but I want to make you smile. Let me use this rift to share my gift. I'm so glad you came, don't wallow in blame. Use your wisdom to fight heartbreak and see the path that you must take. I hear your laughter, but I'm even dafter. In this higher frequency, please remember me. And that's it. Short and sweet. As you can see, we didn't use all the words either. I literally just wrote that out as it came to me very quickly. So it was channeled. Definitely a collaboration there that I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it too. So that was a lot of fun. It's been a really creative reading. Now I'm just being guided to pull one more animal spirit oracle card. Because Robin loved animals. He had an animal magnetism. And again, it's quite interesting, I'm just being reminded now, that when I watched the film Awakenings last night, about halfway through my cat came and jumped on my lap and she was sort of watching for a while. So yeah, you know, that magnetism was coming through. And we've got the rhino. So this is the message that Robin wants to share with all of you. Be the rhino, you know, be strong. It's interesting, we've got the flowers again, like the flowers in your hair. And the message here is overcoming the obstacles. So yeah, you can overcome anything if you put your mind to it. Don't let things get you down. You know, if you try once, try again. It's the message I'm getting here. Keep going. Be strong within yourself and share that with the world as well. Make changes is what I'm hearing here. Wow, I'm just being drawn here to this symbol. It looks like a labyrinth. You know, I'm seeing like the labyrinth of the mind there. You know, use your mind wisely. Use your mind. Be creative. Is the guidance I'm getting. Like we have been in this reading. I know I've been quite creative recently myself, so if you feel that inspiration, maybe this reading will inspire you to do something you love doing. Maybe you have a gift to make people smile. You know, if you're light workers, for example, make others feel happy, but that comes from within. and laughter, is strongly coming out. Obviously, with Robin, we're always going to laugh, but how the message I'm getting is how important it is for us to laugh, to sort of see the light side of things, because there is so much that goes on in this world that could bring you down as well, lower your vibration. Okay, it's really bizarre because I just had to pause the camera there because I was hearing a flamingo called Ringo. A flamingo called Ringo. Okay, so I think there's something else we need to write here. A little limerick. Maybe I've been writing some limericks recently. There was a flamingo. Let's just do this improvise. Okay, there once was a pretty flamingo who went by the name of Ringo. Bear with me a moment, I'm going to need to pause and think about this. Okay, I just needed a few moments there to get the rest. Took a while. I'm not going to show you because it's a bit messy, crossings out, but here we go. There once was a pretty flamingo who went by the name of Ringo. He had a friend Beth with whom he played chess, but his favourite game was bingo. There we go. We had to end on another rhyme or poem there, it seems. I just kept hearing flamingo, Ringo. So I really hope you've enjoyed this today as much as I have. It's been a pleasure. Once more, let's just say happy birthday again to Robin, and let's hope we do a few more of these readings in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Much love to you all.